Hello and welcome to KBTalks, powered by the NKBA, the only podcast dedicated to sharing the latest kitchen and bath industry insights, providing you with the education and connections to help grow and support your business. I'm your host, Karl Champley. Well, folks, we have a very special guest on KBTalks today to give his insight on skilled trades labour shortage and how it's being addressed in the industry. Now, it's the NKBA's very own Bill Darcy. Bill is the CEO of the National Kitchen and Bath Association. Now, the NKBA NextUp program was inspired by a conversation he had with a former high school classmate who left his corporate job to teach high school math and computer science. The program encourages students to seek out opportunities within the design and construction industries. Now, I'm personally very excited to hear more about this from Bill, but before we get started, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Are you a home repair or improvement pro looking to grow your business? Home Advisor can help. Here's how it works. Home Advisor matches homeowners looking for help with their projects with the best local pros in the area who can do the job. That means your business gets connected to new customers quickly and easily. Get started now and Home Advisor will help you find your next job. And be sure to ask if you are eligible for a limited time $100 credit when you sign up. Go to homeadvisor.com/NKBA offer. Again, that's homeadvisor.com/NKBA offer.
And with that, we are ready to go. Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you, Karl. It's great to be here.
Mate, it's great to have you on board. And as you know, I'm quite passionate about this subject. And as a business owner, it has just become very, very difficult getting the right people for my business. Like skilled trades is very, very difficult. And here I am in Los Angeles, California. It seems like everybody can do a little painting, a little tiling. They call themselves designers, but they're not necessarily educated correctly. So let me ask you a few questions. Why is NKBA doing NKBA NextUp?
You know, several years ago, I was talking to a cabinet manufacturer about labor force challenges with Finnish carpenters. And he has told me about how, quickly hourly wages were rising because of the demand and the shortage for skills in this area. So fast forward a year later, we decided to conduct an industry workforce development study because none of the data we found was specific to kitchen and bath design, remodeling, or construction. I had also, ironically, recently connected with a prior high school classmate, the one you mentioned in your opening, who was doing some cool things at our alma mater with curriculum and pathways. So a couple of those things connected together and inspired NextUp.
Right. And I always hear people saying we need to bring back shop classes. But NKBA has taken a different approach to reach high school kids. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, hands-on experience is important, but it's a big ask to get school districts to shift back to shop classes, costs and infrastructure and all that. So this high school friend that I referenced, Daryl Dietrich, has made a huge difference at Warren Hills Regional High School here in Northwest New Jersey, thinking differently about pathways in computer science. He, as you mentioned, he was a Cornell engineer that decided to go back to teach math and ultimately computer science at our local high school. But really it was more about the process and the function than it even was about the topic. How do you develop these pathways? And this gave me an idea on how we could inspire a parallel program for skilled trades. But we needed a partner. So I asked our staff to identify a partner, and they came upon this organization, Bridge Year. It was founded by two former educators, and they also think very differently about things. So that was interesting to us and felt like there was alignment there. Bridge Year NKBA Career Tour is this program that they had components of before, but not exclusive to our industry. So they had electrical and plumbing as on occasion where they would introduce those programs to young people. But we said if we want to do this, we would like to have an exclusively K&B focused because we have that diversity in electrical and plumbing as well as carpentry and showroom sales and design using technology. So really the key here is career test drive, where a young person can actually act out what it's like to be an electrician or a showroom salesperson or one of these other skills in a real life environment. So they sit and they wire a light bulb and they get it to light up, and they get water to flow through pipes, and they can design a kitchen using some support on a CAD program. So it's really, I think the career test drive is truly the present day version of a old school job fair, where you got a piece of paper and somebody told you about the job, but this is something you can really act it out and say, wow, this really feels like what it could be. The other component of NextUp that we launched was a community restoration project. And we awarded a grant to one of our chapters. The chapters competed to have one winner, and our chapter leadership committee selected that chapter to help renovate a community center in their local market. So they looked at churches and shelters and other areas of their market that was in desperate need of a kitchen or a bath, and submitted this as an opportunity for a renovation for that center or location. And the idea was not only to help and do a good thing in their community, but get student volunteers involved in the design and construction process.
Well, I love it. I'm loving it, and it's nothing like those hands-on experiences that I think really stick with our kids in that direction. But sounds like just so far you've given a lot of great opportunities. But let me ask you, how does the NKBA and we as an industry communicate the job satisfaction that comes with design and construction careers?
That's a good point, because we know how important it is to pursue a career that's both lucrative and meaningful. We all want to feel like we're making a difference. So part of how we're changing the dialogue around design and construction careers is to get past the earning potential and talk about what it's like to improve the spaces where we live. We also talk about craftsmanship and the personal fulfillment that comes from learning a skill and continually honing it and improving it. The earning potential is certainly important, especially when we think about convincing the parents and their other adults and teens' lives to consider a career in our industry. But it's not only about that.
No, I hear. I love what you say about parents as well. I find it's not just the kids. There's a lot of parents out there that are also very keen as well.
No doubt. And I'm interested, Karl, for you, what has this industry meant for your career, and what gives you the most satisfaction?
Oh, wow. Well, I think with me, it's given me the opportunity to kind of create my own destiny, create a strong business. And it's established me to run a business and, work with my hands as well, which is something I've loved doing ever since I was a teenager. And, with this ridiculous accent, I'm originally from Australia, and for 16 years I was running a business there. And 20 years ago, I moved to the US. And interestingly enough, it gave me the opportunity to, host over 400 television shows and work alongside some great people, including a former president. And I thought, well, that could never happen. But it was actually my trade that propelled me into that field, which I was very honored. And I think to be satisfied, let's see, I think as a dad, to me, there's nothing more satisfying than being able to teach my son, how to build something, how to design, how to build something right. And for everyone listening in, if you have daughters, it's the exact same thing. And another thing too, which I think is so beneficial, is the fact that to design and build your own home is huge. And I've been fortunate to design and build many. And I think now the opportunity where I can share my experience and help other young adults navigate their way through this fulfilling career is just really satisfying for me, because I've had the opportunity, and I know there's a lot out there that have to understand. And fortunately, with people like you, you're making the noise and the awareness that, not college is not for everybody. And there's such great career choices in our industry. And, and I think the more noise we make about that, the better it is. So with our kids, let me ask you, once kids show an interest, how do we as an industry keep that interest alive and keep these kids engaged?
It's a great point, because that's really the whole goal is initially having the conversation, getting them excited, but then now what if they are excited about what they want to do? So NKBA member companies can post internships and part-time jobs on the NKBA jobs portal, nkba.org/jobs, which is where we're sending the kids there who are interested and get excited about the Bridgeyear NKBA Career Tour. And as you say, we keep talking about it. We keep talking about it and educating young people, their parents. We ask all of our members to continue to keep that dialogue moving about how exciting careers are in our industry. How do we talk to people about it? The dignity and the respect that people get with success in this industry, just as you personally have experienced. Again, not everybody is college material, but even if you do go to college, there's still the focus on our industry, and there's a lot of not professional trades that are in shortage as well. So we just want to continue the dialogue and have the opportunity for young people to consider a career. We realize they'll make their own choices, and that's fine. But we did a disservice if they're not even aware of these great jobs that we have.
No, absolutely. And I think we've spoken numerous times beforehand about how huge, how enormous, how wide this field of expertise can be. In Australia, it's a little bit different over there, but if you either take a 4-year apprenticeship to become a tradesperson, and then you do generally another 3 to 4 years to become licensed in that field, you can also take a 5-year university degree to become a licensed builder. So there are, as you said, you can go down the college route, but also come back and get into this industry. One thing I wanted to share with you, thanks to you and your amazing team there at the NKBA, you dragged me in as a host and a speaker a couple of years ago at KB's, the Kitchen and Bath Show. And there was that big event where you organised all the Clark County, the school district kids to come in and listen to us, what our careers were like, what our experiences were in the trades. And you had a terrific panelist there as well. And I was introducing them. And the engagement was terrific. And then we broke off into these small groups touring the trade show floor. What was terrific about this was halfway into the tour around the exhibitors, I found out that these kids, they weren't shy anymore. They were just bombarding me with questions, which I just loved. And at the very end, there was one girl there that was very quiet and she was really shy. And she came up to me at the very end and she said, Karl, she said, do you think I could be a contractor? And I said, absolutely. And I said, there's nothing holding you back. And she said, I just don't think I could do it. I said, listen, I said, it's there for you, the taking. I said, look around you. It's not all just men here. It's women and men. It's boys and it's girls. I said, what makes you think that you can't get in the industry? She said, well, I just don't know enough about it. I said, guess what? Just be a sponge. You're at the perfect place to be educated, whether it's design, construction. There's nothing stopping you from getting into the field. You have the opportunity of, if you want to become a contractor, that's an awesome profession because you can be hands-on. You don't have to be hands-on. You can build a terrific business and getting into residential, commercial, and the sky's the limit. Well, long story cut short, she started to tear up. I started to tear up. And, it's thanks to you and your team that have actually made these opportunities possible. And that was really touching to me. And it was because of getting this awareness out there that really made that happen.
Well, thanks for that comment, Karl. It's wonderful. And we really just, it established this great relationship with the Clark County School District during KBIS and had 150 students that year and 300 students this year. And it just story after story about their eyes lighting up, and maybe they didn't know what they were getting into, getting on the bus and going over to the convention center, but you could tell the confidence or the interest builds, and they started asking questions like, wow, this is pretty cool. And let me learn more about what this could be and go home and tell people at home about what inspired me to potentially consider a career in our industry.
And what was terrific too, and again, thanks to yourself, is that when we did the tour, we were seeing, the exhibitors, and you had the owners of the corporation, you had Roll or whatever company it was, talking about their stories. And a lot of them didn't really have a college education, and it really opened the kids' eyes thinking, wow, the sky's the limit. But I want to also take an opportunity too to thank you for doing a terrific job as a CEO for the association, because one thing I've learned about you, and I need the world to understand, is that you're someone that's always stayed connected, you've always stayed updated, you're always professional, and you're very kind, and that's why we have a forward-thinking trade association. So I just want to say thank you for doing everything you do and also stepping up about this important topic.
It's very kind of you, Karl. Thank you so much.
Well, mate, it's a pleasure, and it's simply the facts. That's all I'm saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, to learn more about the world's leading trade association for kitchen and bath, I want you to check out nkba.org. As Bill said too, there's a lot of opportunities on that website. It is a terrific website. And the top right corner, you'll see jobs. If you just hit that, if you're a newcomer, or if you're heavily entrenched in the industry, take a look at the opportunities that are out there. And that's just from this association. So, folks, I'll just let you know there are new episodes of KB Talks coming your way soon. So subscribe and stay tuned. Please be sure to send your feedback to nkba@flyingcamel.com. And remember to take a moment to leave us a star rating or a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Folks, we welcome you to join this empowering industry. And remember to get out there and design and build something terrific. Thank you for listening. Bill Darcy, thank you so much. And stay tuned for a quick NKBA Minute.
Brave New Business is a video forum developed to support and serve our community of kitchen and bath professionals. Each episode brings together the brightest minds, the change makers, and the problem solvers to interpret the information and offer insight about what we all need to know right now, from market analysis to virtual tools. Make sure you're following us on social media at the NKBA for information on how to register and never miss an episode. Brought to you by the NKBA, KBIS, and KBB Magazine.